Hey Solus, what you doing?
I was wondering why Soundwave looks so sad on the windowsill.
Oh, he does that a lot. It's been about a year since Papa adopted him. He still thinks about his old master.
I see. Tell me, Vortex, do you ever wonder where you come from?
No. I don't really ever think about it. Why do you ask?
It's your choice of words of how you describe Mangus Khan.
Oh, like when I say Papa? I mean, he is kind of a father figure to all of us. He takes care of us, and we take care of him. At least that's how I look at it.
I see.
If you don't mind me asking, Solus, but what are your thoughts on him?
You mean Mangus? I have a lot of opinions about him, but...
But what?
I'll tell you when the time comes, Vortex. It's still a little too early to make judgments on him, but one thing's for certain. He definitely has a kind heart.
I think he kind of sucks. Hello everyone, it's Mangus Khan, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am the fabulous leader of the Decepti-KHAN army, and today I'm reviewing this mofo. I am reviewing Dark of the Moon Soundwave with his companion, Laserbeak. Yes, we are finally going to be reviewing this guy. So I actually bought this guy about a year ago. Oh, he was not a lot of fun to play around with over the last couple months I've had with him. So I figured since it's been about a year since I've had this guy, I figured I should just go ahead and knock this guy out for a review. And as a bit of a note, this guy is a pre-owned figure, so he is used. And I have a lot to say about that because I still have his invoice from a year ago. Like, I don't think you want to know how much I paid for this guy, alright? Like, I kept the invoice. I still have his original box. And mind you, there was no other box in here. This is what he came in. And would you like to see how he was packaged? Yeah, this is how he was packaged. He was packaged in a bag just like this. And if you don't believe me, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see what it says up here? Yeah, I have a lot to say about this. I'll rant a little more about this later at the end of the video, but just for now, just kind of know that this is a used figure and we're going to be reviewing Dark of the Moon Soundwave. So let's go ahead and dive into his review, right? Because I have a lot to say about him. Alright, here is Soundwave, and we're going to go ahead and check out his articulation. His head can slightly move left and right. He can also kind of slightly look up and down. His arms can rotate all the way around. His arms can bend. His arms can twist. Unfortunately, he has no hand rotation, nor can you actually bend them. Also, this is what his hands look like, and unfortunately, his fingers are not articulated. He can almost do a T-pose, but this is as far as his arms can go. He doesn't have any waist rotation, unfortunately. He can bend over forwards, and can slightly bend over backwards. His legs can go forward and backwards, just like this. And yes, he is capable of doing the splits, but I think only in this direction, though. This is as far as his legs can go in this direction. His knees can bend. His legs can rotate a little bit, just like this. His feet doesn't have any rotation, nor can you bend them, and I don't think he has any ankle tilt. And yeah, that basically takes care of his articulation, so let's see if we can make Soundwave into a supermodel, alright? Alright guys, that wraps up the photography with Soundwave, and oh. What can I do for you, Laserbeak?
I think he wants his own photo shoot.
Oh, come on. Who would want to do a photo shoot with that little thing?
You know, that's not a bad idea, actually. Let's ask some of our models and see if they want to actually participate in this, so... Oh boys, who would like to have a photo shoot with Laserbeak?
Whoa, that's a lot of people that want to take a picture.
I should have just shut my mouth.
Hey, come on, this could be really fun.
Well, Laserbeak, you're gonna be one lucky bird. I have no idea who your owner was, but whoever they are, let's make them proud, alright?
Alright, Flatline, you're up first. Okay, that's a wrap.
So Darker the Moon Soundwave only comes with one thing, and he basically comes with Laserbeak. So Laserbeak is his main accessory that he has. And don't get me wrong, I do kind of like Laserbeak, but unfortunately he's not articulated. Like the only area that he is articulated is the feet. So you can actually move his feet. Yeah, his wing, his head, and his tail are just pretty much just one piece of plastic. I don't know, he kind of looks a little bit unfinished, but I kind of wish that they added just a little bit more effort into designing Laserbeak for him. And pretty much all that Laserbeak does is that he could just perch on Soundwave's shoulder or on his arm, just like this. So when I bought Soundwave, he is a pre-owned figure. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he is supposed to come with a backdrop. But, as you probably may see, I did not really get him in mint condition. So I don't really have the backdrop or the box. I also don't even have the instructions, which I will talk about a little later. So yeah, that's basically kind of all that he comes with on my end, basically. Now, I did want to kind of see if he can hold other weapons. So I thought I'd try with Black Dragon swords. And unfortunately, he's not able to hold them very well. He might actually be the second character that I've done testing with this where he's not able to hold these weapons very well. He kind of reminds me of Widow, who was actually the first character that when I first tried putting swords on her the first time, she wasn't able to kind of hold them. So basically, like, both her and Soundwave kind of share very similar issues with the way how their hands are designed. I did try to see if he can hold Barricade's gun, which he is able to hold it. But again, like, his hands are kind of designed very weirdly, so he's not able to kind of hold weapons very well. But at least that's like one weapon that he can hold. I did see if he can actually hold Novocaine or Freezer, and yes, he is capable of holding Novocaine Freezer, so this is what he looks like when he holds them in one of his hands. And lastly, seeing that I have the other Soundwave, I want to kind of see if I could hold the other weapons with him. And he sort of could. I mean, as you can see, he could definitely hold them, but he doesn't really hold them very straight. They just kind of like almost want to like fall over like the swords. So he can sort of kind of hold weapons to some degree. I kind of wish that they designed his hands a little bit differently. I'm not sure why they designed it like this, but he's capable of holding some weapons, I guess. And yeah, that kind of concludes our weapon testing with Soundwave. So as I mentioned in this review, my copy of Soundwave is a pre-owned figure. And because he's pre-owned, so I don't really have the instructions. So because I don't have the instructions, I have to look up a video on how to transform him. Pretty much I have to say that transforming this guy was not really fun. I'm just already going to tell you that. So I don't know if you're ready for this, but before I show you the transformation attempt, here's what he's supposed to look like. All right, so I really want you to keep this picture in mind, okay? Now, I really want you to see the monstrosity that is Soundwave's transformation. I know, this is our transformation attempt on Soundwave. Oh boy, this is way worse than Widow. Even worse than Barricade, because at least Barricade looks close. This guy looks like he got into a car accident. Like, seriously, like, the head I can't get in, like, I know you're supposed to, like, nudge the head all the way through, but it gets, like, stuck. And I think it might just be because it's these spiky things up here. It's like these spiky bits up here on top of his head. Like, you're supposed to push it in, but it just does not want to fit through the little gap. So I've just kind of left it as is. I mean, it's kind of interesting, honestly. It does look kind of interesting with the head sticking out, but that's where it's supposed to go, but I can't get it to fit through. Yeah, there really is something really strange about this toy. Because keep in mind, this is a used toy. Like, so he's a pre-owned figure. He definitely feels very old. Like, really, really old. Like, he's still in great condition. But because of how old he is, I can't seem to get his, like, parts in the right spot. Like, things are just not... Like, it definitely sounds like it's really, really, like, squeaky. Like, I don't know how else to kind of explain it, you guys. Like, he definitely feels very old, as if, like, he's been played around with a little too many times, to the point where, like, you really can't transform it back. Like, I really don't know what else I could really kind of do. It's definitely a fail for sure. It is definitely a fail. And the funny thing is, I don't even think his transformation was really that difficult. Like, I probably would give it, like, a 6 out of 10 on difficulty. I don't even really think it was really that hard, but because I like how archaic he is, like, I don't really know what's up with, like, the noises that he's making. Like, he definitely kind of sounds like he's definitely been used and abused quite a lot, and probably to a point where I almost can't get him into his vehicle mode properly. Just a little bit kind of a weird rant, but I can never really imagine Soundwave being a car. I mean, like I said, like, I know this is a very different interpretation of Soundwave from Dark of the Moon, but still, if only this character wasn't Soundwave, I think I could believe it, but because his name is Soundwave, it really throws things off a little bit. But I mean, I do like the details on the car, though. Like, even though it's not complete, I can still appreciate the little details on here, though. But yeah, this was definitely a flop. This is probably the best attempt I can give it, because I really don't know what's up with, like, the joints and that kind of stuff, because he really does feel super old. So here is my transformation attempt on Dark in the Moon Soundwave. So I actually bought him from the TF Source vintage department, and I'm going to tell you, so I kind of had sort of like expectations, what I was expecting. So a little bit of some backstory about Mr. Soundwave here. In fact, the story of both Soundwaves. Now, I already did a review of this guy, but I also bought this guy from the TF Source vintage department as well, too. And I think it was only like $50, I think. Now, on the description, normally, like, when you shop on TF Source, you see that there's a little description that says, like, the item condition. I think for him, it said, like, he was loose, 100% complete. So I ordered this guy, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm hoping that Dark of the Moon Soundwave will show up in a box like this, right? And yes, when I did order him, the description did say, like, loose, 100% complete, so I thought I was going to get a box, like a mint box that would be slightly damaged and that stuff. And I just get this. Just a figure all by himself with just Laserbeak. There was no instructions, and that was it. Like, so when you go on TF Source, like, sometimes when you go and look for, like, the mint box, and then they, like, somewhere on the page it says, like, we have this in the vintage department as well for like blah blah blah, like, you know, like how much it is, right? Like, suppose he was like $10 off, but I'm like, girl, the $10 off is just to make up for the shipping. When you think about it, you think you're saving $10, but you're not really, because you have to deal with the shipping cost on these things. Which reminds me, would you like to know how much I spent on this figure? All right, like, do you really want to know how much I spent paying this dude on the TF Source vintage department? I have my invoice, and let me just kind of read you how much he is. So my total came to $97.06. Almost $100, dude. Like, what the F? Like, seriously, I paid almost $100 for a used figure, and he does not come in a box with no instructions, no backdrop. For $100, I think I got ripped off. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think I got scammed or something? But I feel like I got ripped off. I feel like that's not really worth $100. This guy, I don't know. I have no idea if he's really that hard to find, but I don't think he's really worth $100. Minus the fact that, you know, like, I don't think I would ever want to pay $100 for a used figure, and he just does not come with a box or the instructions. Again, this was the expectation, you guys. This was the expectation, that I thought he was going to come in something like this from the vintage department. And this is what I got. So I guess I kind of had a bit of a big expectations versus reality kind of thing. I guess that's the whole point. What I'm saying with this rant is that I felt a little bit kind of like, what is this? You know, like, I thought I was going to get a box, like a mint box, and I just get a figure. But yeah, I really wanted to kind of get that rant off my chest, because like I said, you guys, I don't know if anyone else has ever had this kind of experience shopping on TF Source, at least in the vintage department, because I only order a couple things from them from time to time. And I think I've only ordered like 3 things, I think about 3 things from the vintage department. But I probably don't think I would ever want to shop in the vintage department if the description is not very accurate. So yeah, just kind of buyer beware, okay? But yeah, let's just kind of get into the actual review here. So what do I think of Soundwave? Well, I think he kind of sucks. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but I don't really know who is actually better. If I think he's a little bit better or Laserbeak is a little bit better, because they both kind of balance each other out a little bit. But yeah, what is there to say about this guy? Like, he's a pre-owned figure. He definitely feels really old, very squeaky. He doesn't really, like, play very well. Like, I don't know if you can hear, like the plastic quality on him. Like, he definitely feels really old. And I don't know how else to explain it. How, like, when I start, like, moving, like, these things, it doesn't sound very smooth. It really feels very, very rusty is how I would describe it. I think that's what I was, like, kind of thinking, was that, like, he just kind of feels very rusty. Like, he almost, like, hasn't been played in a very long time. And mind you, that plastic bag is really dirty, by the way. That plastic bag was very, very dirty. And so he's definitely been sitting in that bag for who knows how long, maybe for a few years. But damn, if the fact that he's been in that bag for years and it kind of aged on him a little bit, I don't know. But he definitely feels really, really old, ancient, rusty. I really don't know how else to kind of describe it, because like I said, being a pre-owned figure, I was a little bit kind of disappointed with how he played a little bit. And transforming him was definitely not really fun either, especially because of how rickety all this stuff sounds with the plastic. But I mean, that's just like my experience a little bit. I mean, at least Laserbeak is a nice little accessory, so I do kind of like him, but unfortunately he's not really articulated very well, because the only thing that's really articulated is just the feet. So his wings don't really flap, his head doesn't really move very much. You know, I guess my only other thing that I can critique on is just his hands. I think I've already mentioned this a lot in the weapons section, but again, his hands are not, like, you can't really bend them, you can't really move them. And I kind of wish that his fingers were articulated a little bit so you could grip things. But again, like, I'm not sure why they designed his hands like this, and maybe they wanted to be movie accurate, I don't know, but I just kind of feel like there's so many weird things about this toy. Like, I wanted to like it, and I kind of feel bad because whoever probably owned this toy, they probably felt the same way. And so I feel kind of bad that I might be sharing the same sentiment as his previous owner. But, you know, I don't think he's not, like, super terrible, but I think just my experience with him is not really that great. But I will say, though, that he's been a great member in our team, though. So, you know, even though he's not the greatest figure that I played with, I still think that both Laserbeak and Soundwave, they both definitely need a home, alright? They definitely need a home as pre-owned figures, and I do feel like they do belong in our army. They are part of the family, so, you know, I suppose I really can't be too critical about you guys. You guys are kind of made for each other, alright? Do I recommend Dark of the Moon Soundwave? Because he's a pre-owned figure and because he's used, would you still recommend a product? I mean, that's like the hard part. Because again, I didn't get it brand new. So because I didn't get it brand new, I didn't have like the backdrop or the instructions or even showed off what the box looks like. How do you recommend something if something that you got was used or pre-owned? I don't know how I would answer that question, to be very honest. I mean, assuming that he was a brand new figure, like assuming he was a brand new figure and he worked just fine, would I still recommend him? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would kind of pass up on him. Okay, but like honestly, I would not recommend him for $100. Okay, like let's get that straight. I would not recommend paying $100 for this guy. Okay, I don't know if he's really that hard to find, but girl, I would never want to pay $100 for just the figure and nothing else. All right, like even if it says I'm gonna save $10 on the TF Source website, I'm definitely not really saving a lot of money. I feel like I definitely got ripped off. I'm pretty sure I even found him for much cheaper on the TF Source website as well. So that even seems a little more suspicious. But that was like a long time ago, okay? Like I've had this guy for about a year. And, you know, I can kind of live with the fact that I paid almost $100 on him. But still, do I recommend him though? I don't really think I would recommend him. I would kind of pass him up basically. But again, I would not pay $100 for this. Like guys, please be smart. Don't be like me, okay? Don't be like me who paid almost $100 for a used figure like this. But, you know, I think the saving grace though is if you do want to get him, just make sure he comes with Laserbeak. Because Laserbeak is a nice little companion. He's a really nice accessory to go with Dark of the Moon Soundwave. So at least, you know, at least he's like the best part about him though. So if you're a diehard fan of Soundwave, I would definitely give him a chance, but otherwise, I don't think I would ever want to pay $100 for this ever again. So, you know, unfortunately, I don't really recommend him, but at least I'm glad that he's still a part of our army, though. That wraps up my review for Dark of the Moon Soundwave here, so go ahead and kind of wave goodbye here. Oh, don't forget about Laserbeak. So yes, let's wave goodbye to the camera here. If you guys like this review, make sure to leave a like, and also subscribe to my channel if you are new. And I shall see you guys on the next review, alright? So, have a good night, you guys.